All right, it's Wednesday. Let's see if treatment's over. Oh, this is fantastic. We're on our way to my wound care and the excursion just broke down. When it rains, it pours, right? I mean, there are no words right now. Okay, so I know it's noisy. Gary's on the phone right now with the tow truck company. The one positive is we literally broke down like right around the corner from Meineke. And thankfully they offer a free 5-mile tow to their shop. So, and wound care thankfully was able to change the appointment. Thomas is on his way right now to rescue us. The car will get towed and hopefully we can get this done before 1 o'clock when I have my appointment. I am definitely not gonna lie. This is really frustrating because we put so much money into the excursion and the build and getting, you know, stuff fixed that needed to get fixed, and to have this break down like literally on the way to wound care when hopefully this is the week that I heard that the wound is closed and I'm finally done with treatment and we could have gotten back to the plan of full-time travel it's discouraging. I am trying so hard to stay positive. But right now, y'all, it's a little bit hard. All right, so Thomas came and got me, and then we had to come all the way back to get the truck. So Gary is still there waiting for the tow truck to tow the excursion, but he wanted to bring the truck just in case the tow company is taking forever, because we can throw some tow straps on the truck and get the excursion off of the road and at least in the parking lot. So the rush is now to try to get back to Ocala, where Gary is at, stuck with the excursion, waiting for the tow company, and still make it to my appointment that they were able to move in an hour and a half. Because that was the only other time slot. So it's looking likely that he's probably gonna have to stay with the excursion and Thomas will have to run me to my appointment because he's following behind in his car. Thinking most likely it might be the fuel pump. We have never changed it. It's never given us problems before. But yeah, it's at like 340,000 miles on the excursion, so I would not be shocked if that's the case. It threw a code when we were going to California. So we had stopped at a Love's in New Mexico, and the gas pump did this crazy thing where it was sputtering really hard, like popping, pop, 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 and there wasn't fuel coming in. As soon as we stopped that and went to another pump, the check engine light came on. Reran the code. It, you know, wasn't really throwing any major codes, and that was a couple months ago. Yeah, we probably, you know, should have taken it in, but then we had all of the insanity with me getting sick and going into the hospital and, you know, everything we've still been dealing with. So we got about halfway to my doctor's office this morning and all of a sudden it just sputtered and died. Now I don't think it's the fuel pump relay because that's already been fixed and replaced and that has a lifetime warranty, so that company was phenomenal. And hey, side note, if you have an excursion and you need a fuel pump relay, just comment and I will let you know the company that we worked with, because you can't buy the OEM part anymore, and they actually take the two boards apart, fix it, and then put the boards back together. So we're gonna see how today ends, and you know, I'll be honest, I really hope at least wound is closed up and wound care releases me, and we get one good bit of news today, because so far today it's been a little rough. And if it's not one thing, it's another, you know. All right, so I made it back to Gary. Tow truck is still not here. It's been a couple of hours. I don't think he's even gotten the text saying when they're on their way. So yeah, he's probably gonna have to stay here while Thomas takes me to my appointment. Now, on a positive, I will say Gary's right. Thank God this happened while we were home and not out in the middle of nowhere. That is a positive. All right, so I got to wound care appointment with a few minutes to spare. Gary is still behind with Thomas, and they're still waiting for the tow truck. So when we call tow companies, we always let them know it has to be a flatbed because of the size of the excursion. They sent a little baby tow truck. So he is now waiting for the flatbed. Well, let's see what wound care says, and praying that this is a positive today and the wound is completely closed this week. No more wound care. That's what we're hoping for. So let's go in and find out what happens. Good news, good news, good news. That's what we're hoping for. Good news, good news, good news. All right, we'll see. She thinks it's closed, so waiting for him to come in and check. That is it. I got my discharge papers. Oh my gosh, what a long road. And let me tell you, as just like one of my nurses said, she's like, yeah, I bet this totally offsets the whole car thing. And I'm like, you have no idea. We so needed a win today. We so needed a win. So it's only one more week before I can get back in water. I am like super stoked. And it's only because the wound is completely closed and healed, but the skin is, they said it's like baby skin. So I need to give it another week before I can actually get back in the water. Okay, so now we are gonna head back over to where Gary and Thomas are, and hopefully, you know, the tow truck is coming shortly. The story continues. So I'm not sure if because of the time we're actually going to know what's wrong with the car at this point, or if it's going to be tomorrow. We have a feeling it's the fuel pump. Hopefully it's nothing more serious. So I just talked to Gary and they still are not there. So it is 1:30 in the afternoon. We called them around 10:30 this morning. They still are not there and told him it was gonna be like another hour. It's hot in Florida, y'all. Like, we're not in fall. It's hot. It's so hot. No joke, when they took my temperature, because we've been standing outside in the sun and the car won't turn on for the AC, she had to keep taking my temp because the first one said 106. She waited a while, took it again. It was still over 100. It's hot. So I really hope the tow truck gets there like sometime soon. Not a good sign. Gary is outside of the car, still there. No tow truck company. Go figure. Okay, yay. They finally have gotten here. And of course, it's not in the best spot because people just, you know, don't pay attention. They're still going to try to go through areas where a tow truck guy is trying to hook up the car. She is a beast. Oh, and we're hitting the bottom. Oh, we're dragging. Now, do you see these yahoos trying to squeeze into the tow truck and get in a parking lot? Oh. Now, literally, we're going from here across the street over there. So there literally was another lady. She was parked right next to us in the parking lot. And no joke, what are the odds? Her fuel pump went out. So all of us have been here all morning. Her tow truck came like 5 minutes before ours got here. I don't want to put hers on there, only because, you know, you just don't put other people's stuff online like that. But we actually like gave each other a hug because we're like, oh yay, like both of our tow trucks came. So now we're just waiting because we're parked where she's having the tow truck. So Gary headed over to the shop with the tow truck driver with the Excursion, and we're waiting to actually get out of the parking lot once her car is hooked up and that tow truck is out of here.
Like 13 locations.
So now we wait. They said hopefully tomorrow they can take a look at it. So until tomorrow, when we find out what is wrong with the Excursion. Alright guys, until tomorrow's story continues. Get outside, make some memories, and remember, not every adventure is going to be what you hoped for, but it's still an adventure.